Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-8. It's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south border of Overlord, and it's under the command of StuInTokyo, and he's got the improved rammer, improved gun lane drive, and also the rotation device as well. Game on! The Arty that was designed to be made from the T-28 medium tank, but of course they had none of them left by the time that they came around to designing it. 152mm howitzer, capable of doing 550 alpha, 38mm pen, 6.7 meters burst radius, between 6.5 and 11 seconds of stun. And the best thing of all is the reload time, which is 19.65 by the book, but he's got 16.62. Now, he saw that Cromwell come into the bowl, and he's come out the bowl, and he didn't fire because his teammates were too close. But let's see what he does now. Oh, and the Cromwell gets wiped out in the end by the Juno. And so, yes, he didn't have to fire at all. But that was actually probably a good idea, because if he'd actually stunned his teammates, then he probably wouldn't have had any chance at all of getting a high caliber. The CDT gets nuked by a KV-2, so he's out the game. That's a difficult shot on the Type 58, the Chinese version of the T-3485, but he's now got a good shot, and well, he's going for the SU-100 and gets 60 off the splash. And the guy got rid of that stun very, very quickly indeed. Yes, the T-28 was a very useful tank. Oh, that was a good shot. 209, that one. Non-penetrating shot, but it stunned two tanks at the same time. The T-28 was around between 1931 and 1941. There was 503 in total manufactured. 3 actually remain at the moment. 2 of those are in Finland and 1 in Moscow at Kubinka. 200 of them were knocked out in the Winter War with Finland. So you can see where most of them were actually sent. Fires the shell in. All close. 78. Yep, splash. So a lot of them were destroyed in Finland. And of course the Finnish actually captured 2, and they're in their tank museum at the moment. The rest of them, a number actually says, I mean, it's 503 were manufactured, 200 knocked out in the Winter War. You'd think that there was only 303, but according to the figures, there are 411, and he's got his first kill. 411 of them were destroyed when the Germans invaded. So I suspect that what actually happened was that they repaired quite a lot of them, and then they were obviously put into the battle against the Germans, and they're just absolutely no good at all. Fires that one at the rear. Yes, and he gets it. 175, but doesn't kill the guy. Just changing position, making it more difficult. This is now the fastest firing Arty at Tier 6, except the FV304. But of course, the FV304 doesn't really have stun. This thing does. Rounds out. There. Well, he hit the KV-85, but only got 2 damage. Very unusual, that. Unusual, because he must have hit something pretty hard. Oh, and you can see, yeah, he hit the end of the barrel on the KV-85. That's why it didn't actually pen or kill him. He hit that barrel, the muzzle brake took all the hit. And that's why he only got 2 hit points. Well, the enemy VK, oh no, it's our VK went down there. And now we've only got a Skoda T-25. So he's going to have to do some pretty hard shooting to get rid of the enemy, because the Skoda can't see around the corner, so he fired blind. And he's decided to... Oh, he is just changing position. So he needs to get a shot into that Berser as quickly as he can to help his teammate. And there's the SU-100. Now, that was a heat round. Our KV-2s come down from the cliff edge, came down one of the chines ahead of us, and now we can see there's a Churchill 7 down below, there's the SU-100 up above, there's the KV-85, he's a one-shot. We can get a kill here if he can get that KV-85. Rounds out. Yep, got him. Nice. StuInTokyo is obviously, as he says, in Tokyo. He works there. Interesting place to live. The Japanese are fascinating people. Okay. Oh, well, he got the SU-100 as well now. He did look slightly to one side after he shot. I think this was in close-up mode. So the Churchill 7 should be down there. Oh, it's a Bursa down there now. Okay, lining it up ahead of his path. Lands just next to him. You can see that the other Arty in our team, the Hummel, is actually firing down from the cliff top. Yeah, we can see him in the top corner. And now we've been joined by Cromwell. Okay, we can hit him if he pops out from behind the rock. He goes for the stun instead. Gets 34 hit points. There's only 4 enemy tanks left. The Arty, the FE304, just got wiped out by our T-78. So now we've got a chance at the Churchill, but he's still fairly healthy. Yes, he fires and he looks to one side, and so he missed the bit where it actually impacts. I will try and catch that if I can. There's the Cromwell. Letting it settle. One more. Oh, the KV-2 took the kill away from us. So it's now just the Churchill 7 and one more of their Arties, the AMX-13F3, and he's just been spotted. And that was a direct hit. That was bang on target. And look, there's only 13 hit points left. So we can get the next shot in. This guy is going to be our 4th kill. Rounds out. Just behind him. So close. But we might be able to get another one. If we don't get the next one, it's going to be the KV-2 who gets him. And he just missed him. So now we get a chance. Ready? Rounds out. 4th kill, and that's the last kill of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the 2nd class tanker for StuInTokyo in the SU-8 on the Overlord map. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. And his win rate from that game, 2,356, which is very good. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, in this tier 6 game, he didn't get the highest damage. That KB2 was doing exceptionally well. He managed to get the high caliber and 2,893 hit points of damage. 2nd highest score was the SU-100 on the enemy team, 1,516. And the 3rd highest damage, well, that went to StuInTokyo. Because he kept pumping those rounds in as fast as he could, he got 1,367 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, yes, Stu proved that one. 4 kills to him, highest number. 3 kills went to the KB2 and also to the T-78 in our team, who's doing most of the work inland. He got the Pascucci's medal because he killed the AMX-13 F3 AM, get it right, and he also killed the FB304, and so he picked up his Pascucci's whilst we were playing down on the beach. And when it came to base XP, we can see Stu's a little further down the list. 1,025 went to the KV2, so he was the only player to get over 1,000 base. 871 to the other KV2, and 693 to our T-78, with Stu getting 754. So he wasn't too far away from getting in the places. he fires 17 rounds. You only get 26 rounds of ammunition capacity in this Arty. So he did have 9 rounds spare at the end of the game. He got 9 direct hits on the enemy. None of them penetrated, but he did get 18 splash. So splashing the tanks did actually prove effective. 1,367 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did 174 hit points of stun assist or 14 stuns. So that's why it was only a second-class tanker, because he wasn't getting enough stun assist to make up the difference. On a free player count, he actually made a profit of 5,771 credits for the game, and 1,885 experience points out of that one as well. So first game is a good one by Stu. But we've got more replays to have a look at, both of them with the SU-8. So let's have a look at the second game. The second replay is also on the Overlord map, and this time round it's Yarbas of OLIMP. OLIMP, I should say, because I'm in the clan. Game on! 2 marks of excellence on his barrel. Still working on the third. Okay, good position. Ready to go. Aiming for the bowl straight away, but there are a couple of enemy tanks on the move. M6 and the Juno. Another, well, this time round it's a tier 7 game with tier 6 tanks in it. Rounds out. Direct hit. 187. Did hit the front quarter. Now, the arc on the SU-8 is actually quite unusual. It's 5 degrees to the left and 12 degrees to the right. So 17 in total. Seeing as it's a Soviet Arty with a very narrow arc, that means obviously as well it dials in fairly quickly, as you can see here. Even after he just fired, a few seconds later and he's ready to go again. Just waiting for the reload to complete, and he's almost there. 45 TP. Now, actually, he moved too close to the bunker for that to be a useful shot for us. Oh, and that zipped past his turret. I'm pretty sure that was on the correct line to make a connection if he'd been there, but I think he pulled back just enough to avoid the shell. Lined up, ready to go. And that's a wipeout for 74 hit points. First kill of the game for him and for his team, actually. Already lined up on the M6, ready to go. I probably would have taken that straight off because I don't think he would have moved. Oh, well, he did hit him, but it was a lot further away than I thought. Yeah, he's actually very much closer when that hit. So that's a pretty amazing shot because he lined it up perfectly to get him even if he didn't move. And then he follows up with that one. And it just misses the rear end of the vehicle. But I think he'll get him on the next shot because it's only 69 hit points. So one shot should be enough to kill him. And we're ready now. Rounds out. Yep, got him. Engine deck, actually. It looked like. I would actually, it was right next door to the engine. So he's got his second kill. I always like to see Arty players racking up the damage. Mainly because it actually puts to death that old theory that, oh, well, that one hit the ridge ahead. It puts to death that old theory that Arty players are never at the top of the team when it comes to damage or kills. Of course, many players will treat them as support tanks, and we do support the rest of the team, but we do actually get kills like that and take out enemy tanks. That's his third kill. He's lead scorer for his team. In fact, he's lead scorer in the game. Good Arty players just literally rack up the damage at a phenomenal rate. And it actually does make it fun to have a fast-firing Arty like this one. Used to be the M44. I played so many games in the M44. I loved playing it. Oh, and he's got another one. That's 4. 3 ahead of the enemy at the moment. There's a T-25 down on the beach who's got very little in the way of hit points. Well, he's not on the beach, actually. He's on the cliff edge. I think he's trying to hide behind the bunker. Ah, now this one, he's knocked the tree down, but I think he's actually trying to make it up that way. And the shell zips over his head and lands behind him. Close, yeah. Well, the Jagdpanzer has gone in for the clincher, but unfortunately he took a big hit there. 263. That's a 90mm gun high roll. And 228, that's a good hit as well. And the 45 TP has gone down, but we've lost our advantage. We did have a 3-tank advantage, now it's gone. And in fact, that E25 seems to be causing a lot of trouble. And he ram kills the Jagdpanzer. And we just narrowly miss him. Unfortunate that. Okay, so now we're 1 down on the enemy. He's trying to chase the E25. Rouse out. Close. There's that T-25 I mentioned earlier. He's using the wreck for cover, poking his head out every now and then, shooting between the wreck and the bunker. Rounds up. Just a little further back. It might be a good idea for him to aim at the wreck. And then the splash might do the necessary. I'm also a little concerned that the Dicamax hasn't been seen for a while. And that E25, well, he's gone into the fray directly. And unfortunately, we just lost our StuInTokyo to their Juno. So now we're 2 behind. And we almost took out the Juno there. Almost not quite. He's still got 17 hit points left. And I think our T-3485 is about to get a shellacking. Yeah, that was the Dicamax, I'm afraid. A 105mm round with a lot of damage. Oh, well, Yabas got 5 kills now. Just took out the Juno. And the Dicamax goes down, taken out by our M2Y. But the M2Y then gets taken out by the T-25. And now it's just Yabas is on his own against that E-25. Can he get a kill? Just missed him. Now he's got no spotters for him. He's going to have to do it himself. But he knows which way that E-25's coming. Now this RT will do 48 kilometers an hour. But in order to get at us, he has to come round the house. Now, is he going to go round the left-hand side? I think he is. I think that's the way he's going. But in fact, he comes to the right side and he gets shotgunned. And that's a top gun. Well done. Now it's going to be difficult because he's got 3 more enemies to kill. The M44 we haven't heard of for a while, but we will hear from him now. The T-25 is down by the cliff edge and the SMV CC-56 is with him. So now he has to go up to the bushes to see where they are. If he's going to do long-range shooting, but I know he's not going to. He's decided not to. There's the SMV. But he's seen us. Well, we got 50 hit points and he missed us with his first shot. Trying to use that ridge line to shoot over the edge. Is he a one shot? No, he's not. So this shot has to be good. Unfortunately, it's not. He only gets stunned. Oh, difficult. And we're not loaded. We do take a hit. And when we fire, it kills us. That was unfortunate. If it'd been a non-stun, we would have got some damage. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tank for Yarbas of OLIMP in the SU-8 on Overlord. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8. He also got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and yeah, he nearly got the 7th, but unfortunately, that last round, it was a stun shell, and so it did damage or splash ourselves when we fired against the enemy. And effectively we were wiped out. So unfortunate that if it had been non-stun, I think we would have been a little bit better off. I'm pretty sure we would have, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. So you can see there we go. We did get 265 hit points of damage against that SMV-CC56. So let's have a look at the win 8. That was 2,715, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Juno on the enemy team. Got the high caliber for 2,909 hit points. Second highest damage was the M6 on our team with 2,116. And the third highest damage, well, that went to the 45 TP on the enemy team, 1,920. We can see Yarbas got 1,631 hit points of damage. And he was actually he was beaten by 2 members of the enemy team, 2 in his own. He's in 5th place. When it comes to kills, though, it was Yarbas who got it. 6 kills. 3 kills went to the E25, and 2 kills went to the SU-100M on his own team, and to 4 players on the enemy team. The Juno, the SMV-CC56, who claimed him as well. 2 kills went to the Dicamax, and also the T25-2. And when it came to details, he fired 25 rounds, so he only had 1 round left at the end of the game anyway. 10 direct hits, 1 penetrating shot, 18 splash. 1,631 hit points, of which 1,307 were at more than 300 meters. The close range shot was on the SMV. 1 hit received, oh, and the E25 as well. 1 hit received, it was a penetrating shot. That was the SMV as well. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed. Actually, no, that hit received and penetration, was that the T25A2? I'm not sure which one it was, actually, that did that damage, but I think it may have been the SMV-CC. Yes, of course it was, because he fired when he came around the house. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, so he was on the way to getting a Radley Waters, and 162 hit points of damage assist, and 297 of stun assist off 12 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a loss, I'm afraid. 6,781 credits. That's because he was playing for consumables at full price. And 1,441 experience points out of that one as well. Yes, but he did get the courageous resistance of 523 and 5,373 because, of course, he got a medal in that game. When it comes to the consumables, obviously, as I've mentioned many times before, it's actually easier to buy them when they're half price. Just stock up on as many as you can, and then your figures look better all the way through whilst you're using up all of those free ones, or not free, but half price consumables. It's something I do as a force of habit. In fact, I'm not the only one. I picked this technique up from somebody else. There was a Unicum who was always doing that, and he was always getting as many consumables available as he could whilst they were half price. Anyway, so second replay, I'm afraid it was a defeat, but it was a good defeat, and he did fight as hard as he could. Let's have a look at the third replay. The third battle is on the Sand River map. We're on the east spawn, and we're back with StuInTokyo. Game on. Well, as you can see there briefly, we had side by side because the FE304 was fairly close to us. But nowadays, it's probably not advisable to stay close to your friendly arties, because if you do, good chance that both of you are going to get wiped out at the same time if the enemy works out where you are. Instead, Shu's going up onto the heights. I've seen other players do this as well. Gives them good view range. T-37 scouting. Rounds out. Let's keep off the grass. As you may know, this is one of my favourite maps, actually. It is my favourite map because of the dunes, really, more than anything else. Unfortunately, that T-34-85 is being a little more of a problem. That looked like that was coming from the other Arty in our team, the FP304. We fire a round in, lands in front of him. And the Bert's still following him. He's very low on hit points. A splash kill could take him out now. The Bert's now looking behind that rock. There is a VK3601H there. And we're in a tier 6 game with only tier 6 tanks. Let's go to T25. Direct hit, 219. And we got some stun assist there as well. Stun assist was woefully lacking on the last game because our teammates just weren't complying. They weren't helping us. You can see where it impacted. Okay. See what he can do. Lining it up. Rounds out. Just in front of him. Took both his tracks off. That CDT's needs a bit of stunning. Rounds out. Directly into the side. 230 hit points. Of course, the CDT does have tracks which almost act like covers, almost like side armor, spaced armor, to stop the shell from getting through. It's a bit like the Churchill for that matter. And another big hit. In fact, that was a penetrating shot with a high roll. 571 instead of 550. See, the next shell could kill him. Rounds out. And that's his first kill in the game. There's an ARL V39. Okay. Now remember, the dome on top is the commander's view hatch. Well, viewpoint, but it's actually a vulnerable weak spot. We need our VK2801 to move up and have a look. See if he can get spotted. Any second now. There he is. In fact, he's pulled back a long way. Okay, but he's stopped to shoot, so we fire a round in and stun him. And we're getting stun assist as well. And we got enough stun assist before he got wiped out to actually get us the communications expert working. Now, as far as we know, there are two tanks up on top of the hill, and Achilles has been seen up there as well as a Giro. So he's firing speculatively at the moment just to see if somebody actually does respond. On the other hand, he's having a quick look because suddenly we can see that Firefly. Unfortunately, we've got a red line because the rock's in the way. So he's going to have to back up to shoot over the top. Still a bit close. Can't see him, but I think he's probably hiding behind that building. There he is. We did fire in the right direction. He's down to 25, so he's a one shot, and he's out the game. Okay, KV-1S. And 129 from a near miss. Our guys have found the tanks up on top of the hill. There's a Nashorn up there as well as an Achilles. The Achilles is being a little difficult to hit, but okay, now we can get him. Back up. That's it. Rounds out. Okay, 280. Was it 238? 238, that one. And the Nashorn is helping us as well. He's come out in the open. And of course, he doesn't last very long. It looks like the FV304 is helping us now. Remember, that guy's got a 17-pounder, and in fact, it is the FV304 that gets the kill. There's only 4 enemies left, both their Arties. One heavy tank, the KV-1S, of course, is to our north. And there's the light tank, the VK-2801-105, the premium one. And he's on the move towards us. Oh, not anymore. Perfect kill on the move. And that means now there's only one enemy left. It's the M44. And as far as we can make out, he might be up in A1 or in the riverbed. That's where we aimed the last shot. And in fact, he is in the riverbed. So we might be able to get something on him. Our teammates are very close. Rounds out. Here we go. And that's another kill for StuInTokyo. And that wins the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tank for StuInTokyo in the SU-8. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8 in that one. And he also got a win rate of 3,460, which is super unicum this time. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, he got the highest damage in the game in this one. 1,823 hit points went to StuInTokyo. Second highest damage was the VK-28011 on our team, who managed to get a patrol duty, and 1,549. And the third highest was our Berser with 1,489 hit points. When it came to kills, it's Stu again, but he shares it this time with the VK-2801 and the Berser. And when it comes to base XP, he's actually in third place because the top scorer was the VK-2801, who managed 1,339, then the Berser with 780, then Stu, who managed to get 757. He fired 17 rounds in this one, got 6 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 10 splash. One of those penetrating shots was definitely against the CDT, because we saw that big hit. Yes, in fact, one pen there does show it. The second pen, well, it wasn't the Achilles. Which one was it? The VK-2801? No, it wasn't that one either, but it was the M44 who took the last hit. And it's quite funny that when an enemy tank, or one of your own tanks is trying to get at the last enemy and he desperately wants it, and all of a sudden an Arty round comes out of the blue and says, nope, you're not having that one. Yes, it's going to the Arty player. Of course it does, as they deserve to get it. Anyway, so yes, going back to details again, we can see he also got 10 hit points from splash, or 10 hit points, no, 10 splashes in the game. 1,823 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did 398 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he made 87,440 credits from this one, including 65,000 for a mission completion, and 2,838 experience points out of this one as well. So very good ending for that one. Of course, the first replay was Stu's. Then, of course, we had Yarbas, had the unfortunate loss on Overlord, and now we've got Stu again. and he's improved his Win 8. Hope you enjoyed this threesome. If you did, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.